Could you talk us through? I'm very clever and knowledgeable and so on and so forth, as well as very well dressed. But other listeners may want to get a quick refresher on what an MRP actually is. Just like a quick, again, this is not for me in any way, because I know I could do it myself, but I feel like it'd be better for you to do it.
Okay, so everyone at home, sing along. MRP is short for multi-level regression with post-stratification weighting.
Oh, that was nice. Have you? Did you train?
Yes, yeah. As you can see, I'm classically trained. So what does that actually mean? How does it work? The way that I think is a good way to understand it is think about Lego. A conventional poll will be like a constructed ball of Lego.
Okay.
And you want to estimate what the individual constituencies are going to do. And so you get that big ball of Lego, and you break it up into lots of individual pieces, and each one of those pieces is one of the constituencies. And you can use techniques like uniform national swing, the favourite of David Butler, the godfather of psephology. You can use techniques like that to break that big bit of Lego down into the individual blocks. The way MRP works is to turn that process around. It uses a whole load of data and statistical modelling from things like the census and other data sets as well to get a sense of what each individual constituency looks like. It then uses large samples, much larger than traditional conventional
Lamples,
surveys.
we call them in the business.
So whereas a traditional conventional survey might use 1.5 to 2,000 respondents, you might get 20, 30, 40,000 in an MRP survey. And they use all those respondents to then model each of the individual constituencies. So each of those individual pieces of Lego will be statistically modelled and produced using this data. And then that is all combined to make the single piece of Lego.
To make a massive Lego dick and balls.
Out of the individual pieces. But the really important thing to remember is that the process that you go through to model that those individual constituencies varies depending on MRP. And MRP is a bit like statistical weighting. All conventional polls use statistical weighting to estimate national figures. But statistical weighting will vary from pollster to pollster. They'll use different variables and targets and things like that. And it's similar with MRP modelling. Which variables you throw into your process, which data you use, that's all important. And models vary from agency to agency, which is why you can get a situation as we had this week.
Yeah, because this week was, I am sorry to say, I found it really funny if wasn't like 3 of them released in quite short succession.
3 of them were released within hours of each other.
Yeah.
But it's worth pointing out, one of those, the one from More in Common, for instance, the fieldwork for that began on the 22nd of May.
Oh!
Exactly. Might a few things have happened since the 22nd of May?
And I've been
during an election campaign? Yes, of course. And so that couldn't take full account of those events. And similarly, and perhaps most importantly, MRP models don't take account of hyper-local factors.
Yeah, I knew that.
So in other words, if, let's say, Nigel Farage is running in your constituency, can't take account of that. Let's say, I don't know, Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister and he's running in your constituency. Doesn't take account of that, etc., etc. And so these are all using a series of assumptions and decisions that vary depending on who's producing the poll. Right. And indeed, some pollsters, More in Common than have been quite open about this, adjust their model as they go along.
Right. Okay.
Now, they would say, and we have no reason to dispute this, that they are improving it, improving the process. But
they're just making it worse each time. Like they've been very clear.
But still, exactly. They these are things that can take. I mean, we use models for private commercial work at Deltapoll.
They go to another school,
and they go to another school, and most importantly, they take years to develop. And so, would one that's perhaps produced in less time be more effective or less effective? Again, it depends on the assumptions and the decisions made.